All right. Okay. Shalom, everybody. Shavua Tov and Chodesh Tov and everything else. B'ezrat Hashem. You probably will notice that it's very crazy right now in the world on a general level with what's happening last night. It was crazy here in Jerusalem. The night, 2 p.m., 1 quarter to 2 in the morning, non-stop missiles from Iran. Unbelievable. And being blown up. It was like Star Wars. And people were scared. My kids were scared. People ran down to go to the bomb shelter. People didn't move. People, whatever. That's on a national level of all the craziness. Plus, so much sheker in the world. I think it's forbidden to listen to social media or news because all the news is negative, and it just gets you upset hearing the falsehood, how people are so crazy and so sheker, so false in their perspectives. It wants to make you pop. You get upset listening and hearing. Okay, 1 second. And then personally, everyone's going through the repercussion. Everyone's going through a crazy time. I just last week, about 4 or 5 people contacted me about all the crazy things they're going in their personal lives, in their parnasa, in their health issues, in their shalom bayit issues. It's crazy. And then inside yourself, that's what you're going with other people. And then what you're going through with yourself, how the Yetzirah is attacking like crazy, making you feel, you're old, you're never gonna make it, you're just getting squeaky. I have a joke, they have a WD-40. There's a spray, WD-40. Why is it called WD-40? Because when you reach the age of 40, you start getting squeaky. So you need to start spraying WD-40. So they have to make also WD-50 for age 50, and WD-60, WD-70, right? You keep on getting squeaky. Yetzirah attacking, especially last week, like crazy. Crazy. Literally, everybody I spoke to, they feel like they're being choked, like, gagged. It's like something is happening on a big level, okay? So what to do when this happens? It happens sometimes in life. It happens maybe a lot. Some people want to say it happens all the time. Rav Nosson writes on the dream of Pharaoh's dream of the 7 fat cows and the 7 lean cows, right? You remember the dream in Parshat Miketz, where it says in the dream, Pharaoh's dream, that the skinny cows, they swallowed up the fat cows, and more than this, velo noda ki ba'u el kirbena. They swallowed up the fat cows. Normally when you use like a snake swallowing up like a big animal, so you see the bump, you see the lump in his throat, in his body. Here, by the cows, the skinny cows, the pasuk says they swallowed up the big cows, and you couldn't, and they were skinny as before. The skinny cow swallowed the fat cow, so at least let him get fat. No, he's skinny as before, and the pasuk says velo noda, and you couldn't even tell ki ba'u el kirbena, that the cows were in the stomach. So Vnosson explains on this that this is the tendency when bad days, the 7 lean cows are the 7 bad days of the week, 7 days, and the bad days in life, and the fat cows are the good days in life. Okay, 7 because there's 7 days of the week. So he says of Nosson a phenomena that when bad days come and hit you, they make you feel that it was never good. There were never good days. It swallows up the good days, even though there were good days. The tendency of the bad days are they swallow up the good days, and they make you feel that the reality is, it was always bad. It was always like this, always miserable, always Tisha B'Av, and just always negative, negative, negative. That's part of the test. It's crazy. Rav Nosson says that's the nature, the tendency of how it works, okay? So last week was a case like that. I had 2 friends. One lost a child. Another guy also lost a child. I lost a baby, 9-month-old baby in his crib. And he was going nuts, hysterical. And I came Friday night to davening feeling bad, feeling miserable, feeling negative, just as if there's too much dinim, too much judgments in the world. And something amazing happened, which doesn't happen to me normally. Like last time this happened, maybe it was 20 years ago. All of a sudden, with this energy of the negativity, it forced me, and it forces the person. We're going to this where Rav Nosson says, forced me to daven like I haven't davened in years, like in 20 years. Every word was like on fire. On one hand, it's great because you're davening with full concentration, full force, screaming the words. But the drawback is it wasn't besimcha. It was out of dinim, out of suffering and pain and negativity. Ugh, I can't handle this. This can't be the reality. So to explain this idea, Rav Nosson in Likutei Halachot writes about this idea. In Birkat HaReach, Rav Nosson writes like this, Birkat HaPerot, Birkat HaReach, I think it's Birkat HaReach, Rav Nosson writes, that when a person becomes overwhelmed with judgments, with dinim, with bad and negativity, and a person begins to feel that he's being just swallowed up. I can't do anything. I'm just so weak, and I'm weak. I'm getting hit, punched, and you just start. You cry to Hashem. Why? Why am I suffering? Why are you putting me through this? And you just get bashed and bashed and bashed. So Rav Nosson says, not always this has happened, but most of the time, and especially if you are, we're going to go into this also, connected to a tzaddik, wakes up in a person what's called in Yiddish the pintel yid. The pintel yid is the holy point. When this holy point, which is your root, sees that it's in danger now of being destroyed, because the evil is just overwhelming. The whole world it's like on the Holocaust. Everyone's dying, everything's negative, and the people around me is negative, and I'm negative. Everything's negative. So the holy point feels that it's going to be destroyed, because it can't live like this. So at times, when the pintel yid inside of you feels it's in danger, it fights back. It just wakes up, blows up, and says, I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not going to agree with the Yetzer Hara killing me. To explain this idea, okay? I hope I don't lose track. I'll remember to go back. There was a true story at the end of the Holocaust, 1944, 1945, where the Germans saw that they were losing the war against Hitler, and Hitler didn't care. Hitler was more concerned, just kill the Jews, kill the Jews. The main thing is to kill the Jews, even if we're not winning the war. But his top soldiers didn't feel the same way. They wanted to win the war against the Russians. So towards the end, when they took over Hungary, they started going to all the little Jewish villages, and they said, listen, we have an offer for you. You get for us together by next week $10,000, whatever, so they can buy ammunition and tanks and whatever they can buy, collecting the money from various little villages like this, and we'll spare all the Jews. So they came to one such village in Hungary. They went to the rabbi's house. They said, listen, you get together by next week $10,000, whatever it was, whatever currency, and we'll spare the Jews. So this rabbi flipped the world. He flipped the world. He contacted Jews in Switzerland, in Zurich, in England, in America, and somehow they wired him and sent him the money, and he had the money ready. And it was winter time, okay? And his little house, the rabbi's house, was the fireplace, and the Germans were planning to come in the morning, and it was made known, however, to the rabbi that these Nazis are planning to take the money and to still kill the Jews. To take the money that he worked so hard to get together and still kill the Jews. When the Nazi soldiers came in and he knew already their plan, he stood by the fireplace with all the money, cash in his hand. And he said like this to the Nazis, not only do you want to kill us, you want me to pay you for it? And he took all the money and he threw it into the fireplace. Okay? What's the idea? The Yetzer Hara, the exact same thing. He hits you a little, he makes you feel old and weak, and he makes you feel comfortable there, and to make you feel, okay, I'm not going to get better, so this is my new reality. Once he's convinced you to bend on his new reality, and he sees that you accepted it, he hits you more, and you get more bent, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. I don't have the strength anymore, and gives you all types of excuses to justify why you are the way you are, why you're so fat, why you're so addicted, why you're so this, and you're depressed, and you can't get up in the morning, and you can't be a right Jew, a proper Jew, and he starts helping to justify, and you accept, you sign and everything. Okay, I sign, I agree, but there reaches a point where you see you reach a point of 100% sheker. Now you reach a point where you're 100 degrees opposite of where you wanted to be in life. You're not the same place where you wanted to be. What is this? This is a real jip, a total ripoff. I didn't ask for this. And yet so it convinces you. So the Pinto wakes up and says, enough is enough. I've had it. I'm fed up with being far like this. I'm fed up with agreeing with the sheker. No more. And then this Pinto wakes up. Rav Nosson goes on to explain, where does this come from? And it doesn't always happen. You can't put it to the test. Because there are times when a person is so in despair that he doesn't wake up. So you can't take the risk because you have no idea. You can't say, I'm going to go low, and then I'll wake up. It's like the guy who says, what it says in Pirkei Avot. A guy says, Echeta ve'ashuv. I'll sin, and then I'll do tshuva. Don't worry, I'll do tshuva afterwards. I'll sin, do tshuva. Ein maspikin be'ado lashuv. They don't give him the opportunity to do tshuva when he's like that. You think, okay, I'll sin, and afterwards I'll do tshuva. Afterwards I go to the mikveh. Afterwards I say tikkun hakal. I'll start again. Who says you'll get there? Who says you'll get there? Okay? So Rav Nosson says, where does this come from? Where does this activating of the Pinto to wake up? Again, first to wake up already, right? But if I do wake up, where did it come from? It's not me. I know how far I am. I know how upside down I am. Where does it come from? So Rav Nosson explains, and we see it, that this period, especially between Purim and Pesach, there was a special light, which is why, by the way, the attack also is crazy, especially this year with the Iranians and this whole crazy year in general of Hamas, and then everyone, the lefties, the secular people, and all these cuckoos all over the world, pro whatever, things that don't make sense, and then what you're going through at home and your family and your friends and yourself and everything, okay? So this period from Purim to Pesach is a special period. The Arizal says that every day we leave 1/30 of Egypt. That's in a general level. But from a Breslov Hasidut perspective, what's happening now? What's happening now? If you recall Megillat Esther and Purim, we end off in Megillat Esther. It says there about at least three times, that the fame of Mordechai began to spread. ושמו הולך בכל המדינות, והאיש מרדכי גדול בבית המלך. The man Mordechai was feared and awed and revered by the people of Achashverosh, by the ministers, by the king, by the people in general, and his fame was going all over. And it says, Rabim me'aretz mityahadim, and many non-Jews converted because of the fear. Kinafal, the verse reads, Kinafal pachad Mordechai alehem, because the fear of Mordechai fell upon them. What in the world? It says in the Megillah clearly that this tzaddik, who was the tzaddik of the generation, the Midrash says clearly, forget about Kabbalah and Zohar, the Midrash says that Mordechai was the incarnate of Moshe Rabbeinu 100%. He was the Moshe Rabbeinu of that generation, Mordechai. The Midrash says that. Midrash Rabbah. Okay? His fame, the fame of the tzaddik, this tzaddik, became popular. And it's shown. Okay? And that is the result of Purim. The result of Purim is that the light of the tzaddikim, the concept of tzaddikim, is made known in the world. What does that mean? That until then, you have the idea of Hashem, the Torah, and that's it. Tzaddikim, chachamim, okay, we learn the books and that's it. No, Purim wakes up the concept that you need a tzaddik in your life. You need a Rav. You need a teacher. I had some guy post something on Facebook, you Breslovers, the tzaddikim, Uman, going to dead graves, of tzaddikim, connect to Hashem, the Torah, that's it. No, that's not it. Proof is, you won't make it in this crazy world. If you just take traditional Torah and Hashem, and there's no tzaddikim in your life, forget it, goodbye, you won't make it. Look what's happening. The world is crazy now. Use rationale of the Torah to try to survive. It's not working, because the world is crazy. Something is missing. What's the point that's missing that makes the whole difference? Is the tzaddikim and faith in the tzaddikim. To quote, I used to say this many times, I'm going to say it again. It is a very powerful midrash. It's in Yalkut Shimoni. I think it's also in Midrash Rabbah. that says like this. Get ready for this, okay? And it's not a chassid shevart. It's from the Midrash. Vayaminu b'Hashem uv Moshe avdo. And the Jews believed in Hashem and Moshe his servant. Okay, that's the verse that we say every morning in Shirat Hayam, in Az Yashir Moshe, in Shacharit, okay? So, and the Jews, after what happened, after they saw the splitting of the Red Sea, the Jews believed in Hashem and Moshe his servant, and then Az Yashir Moshe. The Midrash says on this verse, whoever believes in Moshe his servant, Moshe Avdo, automatically believes in Hashem. And whoever does not believe in Moshe his servant, doesn't believe in Hashem. Okay? This hits most people. This area is so sensitive and it kills people, the idea of a tzaddik, that you need a tzaddik in your life. Why do I need a tzaddik? Let me buy all the art scroll books. I go to my shul. I have Hashem. I have everything I need. No, you need a tzaddik. Why? That's how Hashem made it. One beautiful class, Rabbi Rosenfeld, he said, that's how Hashem designed the Torah, that you need tzaddikim. Emunah, okay? If Hashem wanted to, he himself would have gone in Egypt and brought them out. No, he wanted Moshe Rabbeinu to get involved. He wanted Moshe Rabbeinu to be the one to bring the Ten Commandments. It's not just God and the people. It's God, the people, and Moshe Rabbeinu. You have a tzaddik, okay? And it's not just then, it's every generation. And if you don't have a tzaddik, you're asking for it. You're asking for it. Why are you asking for it? Because you can use your own brain to make your decisions. You can use your own brain and how you understand the Torah, and not how as perceived from the perspective of the tzaddikim. So you're asking for it. You coming from your background, for all the blemishes that you've done, all the garbage you've gone through, and expecting, oh, I have clarity, even though I come from an upside down back history, I have the validity to have a proper perspective. Says who? Says who that you can see things clearly? Who in the world are you? Proof to that that's not the case. Look at people today. All these people trying to rationalize their sheker. It's crazy. You're going nuts. They think it's normal. It's normal. You guys should be supporting the Palestinians. Look, they come massacre, and then we should be supporting them. What in the world? This is an example I'm giving. Okay, I'm not giving a political speech here. But the idea is, if you don't have a tzaddik to tell you what's right and what's wrong, the Torah is vast. You need, even in the Yama HaChochma, the sea of the Torah, you need a guide. You need a guide, okay? I had a guy come to me this week, and he has problems. He says he might be bipolar, and he has phobias and fears. So I told, listen, Rabbi Nachman's main advice to getting a person grounded is learning halacha every day. Learning halacha every day keeps you sane, keeps you normal. So the guy says, no, I'm scared to learn halacha because it's mechayavoti. It makes me now feel I have to keep the halacha. So then what do you want from me? This tzaddik who you claim to follow, Rabbi Nachman, he's telling you to learn halacha. Do it out of emunah. And then you're scared this and that. So what are you scared about? That you become more religious? So what that you become more religious? What are you losing from this world? I had a lady also come up to me. She's scared to make a commitment and everything. But she wants, you know what? She wants a connection to God without a commitment. So what do you want? What do you want? You want Hashem to help you. You have to put an input. Okay? Our input today is simple faith in the tzaddikim. Simple emunah. Rav Nosson, he wrote a special prayer, which is a preparation for this month of Nisan. It's prayer number 70. And in it, he speaks about how the whole battle of the world, it's crazy to say this, but he says it. Rabbi Nachman talks about it in lesson 70. The whole battle of the world is what's called the force of spiritual gravity and anti-gravity. Gravity, spiritual gravity, is towards the tzaddikim. The tzaddikim are called tzaddik yesod olam. It's a verse from Proverbs, Mishlei, and the tzaddik is the foundation of the universe. What does that mean? Just like in the four elements of creation, earth, wind, fire, and water, earth is the yesod. Everything stands on the earth, right? Even water. There's tons of water on the earth, but deep under in the core of the world, of the earth, it's standing on water. Sorry, it's standing on earth, okay? So just like earth is the foundation of the whole world, the tzaddik is the foundation. And just like there's the pull of gravity towards the earth, you put something in the middle of the air, right? You let go, it drops because of gravity. So too, The natural tendency of spiritual gravity is everyone should be drawn to the tzaddikim. But there's what's called koach hamachriach, the force which is anti-gravity, spiritual gravity. All the obstacles and people and Yetzirah that takes you away from the tzaddikim. Whether it's a big rabbi for a big beard who says, what is this idea of the tzaddikim? It does that, and they put it down, or whether it's family and friends, and for sure, society, for sure, without a doubt, okay? All that is anti-gravity. And that's the whole battle of this world, between the koach hamoshech, the gravitational pull of the tzaddikim, to bring people to them, so that they can bring these people to Hashem. Remember that. The tzaddikim, their whole intent is to bring people closer to Hashem. That's the whole thing. You believe in Moshe the servant, so you believe in Hashem. Why? Because the tzaddikim are teaching you how to believe in Hashem. They're showing you the way, how to get to Hashem, okay? So there's this war, this battle. And the month of Nisan is especially propitious. It's when the Mishkan was built. And the Mishkan is from the language of gravity. In the word Mishkan, it's shochen. It's moshech. You have the word moshech there, which is to draw to it. It's the power of drawing people to the tzaddikim. Okay? So there's this whole battle we're going through. And Rav Nosson, to go back to what we're saying, Rav Nosson says this pintel yid that wakes up, it's connected ultimately to the inner point of the tzaddikim who can wake up. The tzaddikim on their level, they're able to handle all the dinim, all the judgments, and they allow themselves purposely to fall into the trap of the evil, to be swallowed up. It's called swallowed up. It's a pasuk, chayil bala vaikienu, that the evil swallows up the force of power, chayil, but in the end, the evil ends up choking and spitting it, vomiting it out, and vomiting out the tzaddik's power, plus all the spiritual energy it stole in the past. So this is what's happening. Okay, we're being attacked in order to squeeze a person's pintel yid, his holy precious point of his Yiddishkeit, to come out. This, on a nutshell, is what we're going through now. So the bottom line is, don't take, number one, what you're going through personally, that it's only me who's going through crazy things now. It's everybody going through crazy things now. And what to do? Work on your attachment to tzaddikim so that their energy shines into you to wake up, to break through from the chains, to say enough is enough. One story I'll finish off with that I heard from a Breslov elder of the previous generation, Rav Michael Dorfman. Rav Michael Dorfman was stuck in the Soviet Union from like 1940 something, even before, but from 1940s until 1972. And every year after the war, he submitted a request to get a visa to leave Russia. He lived in the outskirts of Moscow, in a village where a lot of Jews lived in. It was called Malakhdovka, which was, I think, southeast of Moscow. I'm not so sure. And he submitted every year a visa to leave Russia to come to Eretz Yisrael. Every year he was told no, niet, 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 every year. The last year, 1972, he submitted the request. Okay, he left a message with the Department of Immigration and Immigration, whatever. So that the lady in charge, she calls him back. She says, Dorfman, stop calling every year. You're never going to leave our paradise. You're never going to leave her. Stop. You're here forever. So he took that so painful, he almost fainted. He hung up. And then he remembered that that's similar to what Paro said to Moshe Rabbeinu the last time. Paro said to Moshe, it's enough. Don't come here. Next time you come here, you'll die. So he felt what you would say, you're going to die here. It's like Paro's last words. Okay? That year he said, he built his sukkah. And in Moscow, they built this sukkah in vain. Because all of Sukkot, it was raining and raining and raining. Still, the righteous Jews there in Russia, they built the sukkah nevertheless, just to do the mitzvah of building the sukkah, even though they never sat in it because it was always raining. That year, he built his sukkah, and he said it was like a very difficult sukkah to make. It wasn't just out of wooden planks, wooden boards. He had to put some type of a tar tar covering to support the walls, and he did it all alone. He was all alone doing it. And he said that when he put up that sukkah and it was just ready standing, a strong gust of wind came and knocked down the whole sukkah on him. Boom. And his wife was watching from the house, and she said, "Oy vey," right? Whatever. They're already like in their 50s, okay? 40s, late 40s, 50s. Oy vey. And he started to cry. Because not only what did the lady, the intourist lady, the lady called him, said that you're never going to leave our paradise of Stalin's paradise. But now the sukkah that he worked so hard to build fell on him. He felt so broken. And at that point he remembered again that like what Paro said to Moshe, and that was the last time that he saw Moshe Rabbeinu and saw Paro, and that after that was the final Makat Bechorot, the 10th plague, and then they left. So Rabbi says he doesn't know what happened to him, but he felt enough is enough. I'm not going to go with this garbage. And he, like Superman, he lifted up his arms, pushed off all the boards that fell on him, okay? And he, with energy that he didn't know where he got from this Pintel Yid, that's what we're talking about, the Pintel Yid, he built the sukkah. And he said, that sukkah, there was no rain. There was no rain. And he said it was one of the nicest sukkot they ever had. And that year, he got his visa. And he came to Eretz Yisrael in 1972. So this is the point. When the push gets the shove, and there's too much dinim, too much judgments in the world, and you just feel you're overwhelmed. It's the world. It's the people around you. It's you. It's every level you feel you're being attacked. It's in order to squeeze you at the pressure point of getting the Pintel Yid. But commensurate to how much you are connected to the tzaddikim of the generation, that's how big of a chance you have that this Pintel Yid will wake up and say enough is enough and smash through and start again, whatever it is. If it's a person facing addiction, a person with his ta'avot, a person that he can't daven properly, each person with what they're going through, enough is enough. Yeah, I've had it. And Adkan, the buck stops here. No more. I don't want this. I don't accept anymore Yetzara that you keep on convincing me again and again to fall and fall and fall. You're getting older. This. Enough is enough. I've had it. I want redemption. That's Zman Cherutenu. The festival of redemption is Pesach. We should be zoche, all of us, to activate the light of Pesach, which is Gematria. You know already. Pesach 148, Pei 80, Samech 60, Chet 8, 148, Gematria Nachman. That the light of this tzaddik, Rabbi Nachman ben Fegeh, and especially those people who have put their whole lives on this tzaddik, they've given their whole lives investing to follow his light and his teachings. We should all be zoche to break free and break through finally all the garbage we're going through, and to become who we really are, to become from potential to our true actuality, and become the tzaddikim that we really are striving to become in our lifetime. Not after we die and not before dying, but now, B'ezrat Hashem. Thank you. Chag Sameach, and hopefully we will be in touch. Shalom, shalom, everybody.